coach work very closely together. And Mark is at the Small Business Development Center at Cochise County, who, it's my understanding, was given a rather prestigious award this year. And rather than attribute the success of his program to solely his efforts, he was quick to recognize the partnership with SEAGO that these two guys have formed, and to acknowledge that it takes those kinds of partnerships to succeed at these types of things. So I would like to take this opportunity and for Drew to join me in presenting a little token of appreciation to Mark. Mark, would you come on up? Where would you like us on? Mark, it's truly a pleasure to have you working with us and hopefully on our board soon.
Right. Thank you.
You are a priceless partner.
There you go. Get in the ring.
Thank you.
Great. Got it, right?
Thank you.
I don't want to take up too much time, but I just wanted to say once again, too, with leveraging resources is the way that we can make a lot of things happen, and probably one of the best resources I've leveraged in the last year is my association with that organization. And I can't thank enough for this. I didn't expect this today. Thank you.
Okay. You want to do this memory entity discussion, go around and do that? What we have here is a member entity discussion. What we do is we just kind of go around the room and have each representative talk about issues in their communities, in their counties, in their cities, and towns, and things that we may be able to pick out some commonalities to be able to help with or have suggestions on. So we're going to go ahead and start around the room. We'll go ahead and start with George Lemon, town of Pima. Let's talk about what's going on in Pima, how much money you need to borrow from Safford or whatever.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
What's that, sir?
We have the same problem everybody in this room does, money. And not enough of it. Our school board has asked for almost 50% increase in their yearly or this year's budget. I don't know how that's going to go. The city is doing okay, not doing well, I would think, but we're keeping our balanced budget thanks to some grants for our police department from the state of Arizona and the federal government. We've been a little shaky about the one from the federal government because it deals with UDAs, and President Washington thought is you don't do much with that at all. So is it going to be there next year? Who knows? We've given everybody a heads up that it may be in it. We have, amazingly enough, the last 3 months we've had a 30-minute meeting. So we've had a little bit on the agenda, all passed. So as far as the city council is concerned, we're doing well, except for the money.
Cochise County is in the black, but we have a real concern about the highway funds, the highway user funds, and the deteriorating roads, and the lack of ability to bring in more roads into our system. And so we're looking at trying to figure out a way to finance some road work. We haven't come to any conclusions yet how to do that, but we may be leveraging some of the money that we have in savings in order to go out and create some better road systems in Cochise County than we have right now. And I'm not talking super highways. We're talking, we don't even really have the money to do the regular maintenance that needs to be done. And so we have to figure out a way to do 6,000 square miles and 1,300 miles of dirt roads and 800 miles of paved road, and it takes a lot of money just to keep that going. However, the biggest concern that I have, and I think the board has, so I can speak for the board, is the fact of the redistricting. And if any of you have looked at the most recent maps, in order to get their 3 congressional districts that hit the border, you know, they've come down and taken the Chiricahua Mountains and the little community of McNeil, where I live, Bowie and San Simone, and we're in with Flagstaff. So we're trying to fight that. You know, the legislative districts they decided that since we were all on the border, that us and Nogales, you know, can go together. We can split up Cochise County. So Cochise County is being split every direction right now. And even if they got what they wished for, you know, and had the redistricting like it is right now, that takes 20 of our precincts and messes them up. So that means between the time that they do their thing and December the 1st, we have to create whole precincts again, because you cannot have split precincts. This hasn't been a good time for us in looking at this redistricting, and I hope that all of you are involved and have your say, because it appears as though it was just a function of a computer and didn't really take into reality the splitting of communities or communities of interest or those kinds of things.
3 real quick things. The call center got another contract and they hired about 150. They need a lot more. We're close to 500. If we get to 600, the physical impact would be $2.2 million a month. That would, you know, circulate turnover about 5-6 times. Thank you for your support on that bill. Was introduced by Grijalva for the fully funded port of entry. The bill is 3049. You wrote and I wrote all the congressional leaders about support of this. Of course, it depends on the Jobs Act, and it's on the front burner in Congress. But Grijalva called me and said that it was looking pretty good in Congress, but of course, whether that Job Act is going to pass or not is a big question. But you can keep on wishing. Congressional district that Ann was talking about. I really got scared because the original one sent Douglas all the way on District 1 for the congressional district, clear to Flagstaff, who is represented by co-star. Incidentally, he's a dentist, so whether you want to trust him or not. But anyway, as it turned out, I got relief because we have a little tail there that comes and includes Bisbee and Douglas and leaves out English. And then it goes out to about 15 miles from the New Mexico border, and then the district one comes all the way to the border, and I don't see any reason for it because there were only like 7 ranchers. But my idea is that whether I'm not Republican, I'm pro-Republican, pro-whatever, I think the Republicans wanted a little say in border issues because in the congressional, Yuma and San Luis are in Grijalva's. We stay with Gifford's area, and then this little strip of about 25 miles comes on the southeastern border. But I don't think they have any concern about Douglas and us down here with that little strip. I don't know why it was intended, but there was very few people. But I want to thank you for your help on this bill, and I don't know if I mentioned it's bill number 3049. And thank you for your support, and thank you for all of your supporting this, sending it to the congressional leaders.
Wichita City, we're doing all right. We're working desperately still to find a city clerk. I've had to take a more proactive step towards running city business than what I would like to have. Some people, one guy wants it to be done, and the next person says it's micromanagement. So you know, it's 6 one, half dozen of the other. But we're working hard on getting our landfill permitted. Unfortunately, we got some bad numbers from one of our engineers, and they said we had 8.5 years, and we hired another engineering firm, and it's come down that we have 2.5 years. So, and the re-permitting takes 2 years. So we're in a little bit of a crunch, but we're working through it. Dan?
Wilcox just recently finished our Rex Allen Days weekend a couple of weeks ago. Had a great attendance there. A lot of activities that were going on. Too many activities for you to take it all in. But we did have a really good crowd that was there. And then this past weekend, we had the wine festival, and we had 13 vendors that were represented there at the wine festival. And I went through for a few minutes on Saturday morning, and they estimated the crowd to be at about 1,000 there. We know there was one bus that brought 47 in from Tucson. And so they are taking hold over there. There's some new wineries that are planning on moving in. There's new vines that are going in. It is a coming industry for the area there. We've had a couple of restaurants that have opened up in the past month. And had a new pharmacy that opened up, so things are looking up a little bit. Budget-wise, we're still just hanging on by whatever we can hang on to. We are a little above projections, which is good, so we're hoping we'll make it through the years. Oh, we do have a bond issue coming up for the school next month, and it's going to be nip and tuck the way I see it, whether it's approved or not. Part of the bond issue involves replacing the high school that burned last year. I think that may be the only way that the bond issue will pass, but right now, the way I see it, it's a toss-up.
We're doing well in Bisbee. We just finished the Bisbee 1000 stair climb, and I noticed that I didn't see any of you at the finish. And I was there not because I had finished the race, but because I was at the command post. So it was a wonderful event. We probably had 23 or 2,400 people in attendance. There were 1,500 runners and walkers. It was really a magnificent event. Lots of those people come and stay the night before, and the night after me, make at least 1 or 2 additional trips back to Bisbee after they discovered it. So it was one of those really beneficial events for us. We have more activities going on. We're trying to get through a lot of farmers market, mesquite bean grinding. Haven't had mesquite flour. Please try some. It's really good pancake. We're holding our own in the budget, although we had to use a fairly significant portion of reserves in order to balance the budget for this year. But we're actually at a point of expenditures where we're not tapping into that allocation yet, so we feel good. We have finished, along with ADOT, the Arizona Street reconstruction and permitting. It was opened officially last Monday with real congratulations to Bonnie and the group we had to put together that whole thing so that we can complete it. It's done. If you haven't been down, it really is a beautiful construction. And now we're looking to ACOS to help us fill up the empty stores with economic development. We've got some opportunities that are coming, and we're looking forward to it. We've lost 1,000 people in the census. We know that that's going to impact us both at the state and federal level. We're waiting to find out exactly which district we're in, so we know who to complain to and how to hold our own. We don't really know exactly what the future will bring, but probably will not be pretty. We don't have any extra money to give to anybody, including the school system. I'm here for new ideas, so if you have any, drop them down and let me know which work for you.
Well, I certainly concur with Ann regarding roads being an issue throughout Cochise County, and I think many of you have heard that over the years in a lot of our counties throughout the state of Arizona have that dilemma. Of course, redistricting, I think, is an issue throughout the state as well, and I think we feel that especially painful here on the border, wondering whether it would be a good idea to have more representation or less representation and have a more concentrated representation for our border area. Probably more on the negative side, a committee I serve on for Community Advisory Board for the Juvenile Drug Court, we're finding a very serious issue with prescription drugs for our young folks in Cochise County, and they managed to get these prescription drugs not just from people around Cochise County, but in fact I know of a 13-year-old that had some Oxycodone from someone in Colorado, and you kind of wonder where he got those, but he did. And we even had a fellow from Washington, D.C., DEA, come and talk to the parents in Sierra Vista recently about the issue. And so it is known that we have a problem, and I'm not sure that we know what the solution is. On the good side, I can tell you I serve on another committee, the Cochise Community Foundation. We had $250,000 request in our last grant cycle, and we were able to give out a little over $40,000 in grants, including grants to Boys and Girls Club and the upcoming Boys and Girls Club in Douglas. Hopefully Douglas is going to have a Boys and Girls Club, and Bisbee Boys and Girls Club, and Tombstone Senior Kitchen is doing incredible work. Tombstone, unbelievable what their senior kitchen is doing, and now they're going to be really going full force because one of the grants that we were able to do is going to keep their food warm according to health standards. And so really good things are happening in little ways throughout the county, and all of that money, I can tell you, was raised in Cochise County and was distributed in Cochise County through the foundation. So the other thing I did want to mention, of course, you all know a lot about the horrific fires that happened in Cochise County, and while the fires have cooled down and we've still got the horrible blackness showing, the green is coming through, and a lot of efforts are being put now. The county did some wonderful, I'm not sure exactly what you call that measure that you did to help the building to be quickened, and so that they can get their houses built more quickly, but also plants and remediation is being done throughout the various areas, trees and plants and what have you. So the county's starting to really look a lot better. Thank you.
I just tag on to that. She was mentioning what the county did in order for people to recover from the Monument 2 fire and Horseshoe 2. We took some of our zoning restrictions and passed new regulations that those people who were affected by the natural disaster didn't have to go through the process again, didn't have to, in other words, make it cumbersome for them. So that was what we did in order to, and we did take the planning and zoning department out on the road to near where these people had lost their homes and set up shop there for at least 3 weeks so that people could come in and get get permits easily in order to take the stuff away that was burned on their property.
Good morning.
Is it good afternoon?
It's Mexican time, 10 o'clock.
MC, go ahead.
Hey, I'm from a little town of Duncan. Of course, we don't have any money. So we don't have any paved roads. We can't get them paved. Businesses we can't even open a business because of the flooding that we have. We can't get our river dredged out. We can't get a good levee built around the town. So all we're doing is surviving. We're in debt to our sheriff's department and to our fire department because we can't afford to put in a police department or a fire department. But we're surviving. But the first time we have that 10-year flood, I don't know what's going to happen to our little town. We need a levee built around that town so we can start working on the town. We do have enough money and we've cut enough corners to pay our payroll, barely maintained. We have one good water well and two kind of all right, 12 gallons a minute water wells to feed our whole little town. We need to be connected between us and the other part of town that's on the other side of the river so we can put in another good well and circle our water so that we can supply everybody with water. But the first time we had that 10-year flood, our water well was allowed to go out anyway, so I don't want to be doom and gloom because we are alive. And we're going to keep fighting. That's it.
I'll start with a little introduction. Quick little show of hands. How many people know what the Small Business Development Center is? Okay. We're grant funded from the SBA from Washington, D.C. with matching funds from Cochise College. So I have the opportunity to use a four-letter word here in marketing called free. Our services are free. Please feel free to contact us. What we're all about is economic development. We're growing in these times. So far this year, businesses that have worked with us, we've created 38 new businesses. Businesses that have worked with us, we've generated $6.4 million in increase in sales. Everybody's talking about bad times and things aren't going good. We've helped, can't get money from banks. Well, it is hard. I'm not going to say it's an easy process, but we've helped businesses so far this year acquire $5.4 million in loans. So those are just some of the things that we do. I definitely offer my services. If you're not working with us, please contact me. I would love to meet with everyone and do what we can do to help you. Like I say, we're growing. For the first time this year, we're opening a satellite office in the Douglas campus. And this satellite office is to sell to the other 95% of the world. It's called exporting. And this office is going to be the main office for the state of Arizona to concentrate on selling to the rest of the world. We'll be holding 4 major conferences through that Douglas campus from this initiative. Like I say, we will be hiring a person, so that's going to create some economic impact just from that. Work with our current businesses. You know, the people that are currently exporting, 75% of the exports are only going to Mexico and Canada. What about the rest of the world? And so because we are in Douglas and we have such a great relationship with the people in Douglas and the community of Douglas and the mayor, working with them in the past, that was really helpful for me to get that office. And I wanted to thank Dr. Gomez for that initiative with the SBA to get the money to open this office up. And so I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be part of this organization, and I'm here to do everything that I can do. And I think this is a great time right now in our economy. We're expanding. We're not shrinking down, hunkering down. We're trying to grow and outreach more so we can do more, to increase sales, to help businesses get loans, to get things turned around.
Can you help Duncan?
city lights. We'll figure something out.
Kevin McKay with the town of Patagonia. We seem to be making do. We're now on our third town manager in 3 years, and we seem to be on the up and up. So he's able to get more grants for our water department, our sewer department, and he's been somehow, without very much money, rebuilding the parks and getting park committees together and taking care of the trees and sorts so that we can get more tourism. And we just had a fall festival with a lot of art vendors come through, and it did really well. So we're doing all right.
Good. Marie?
Okay. We have good news in Graham County, and we have an international flair. We just enjoyed Bill Sivish being paid by the Northern Forum, which is a conglomerate with Russians and Swedes and some other folks. He went to Russia and presented as a case study Graham County and what we're doing for economic development, including the Salsa Trail, and just knocked their socks off. He came back with salsa from the Kremlin, the representative from the Kremlin, and they make their salsa with, George, you probably know, you meet with, ginger and
Vodka.
another spice. Yes. Makes it hot. Anyway, it was amazing. He took, that's why they're so happy. Freeport sent a miniature copper, like the cathodes, that we get from the SXEW processing. They sent a miniature, and they're going to use that for a traveling trophy to go around to these rural developments where who can come up with the economic development projects. And what they're doing is saying, okay, we took what was wonderful about Graham County and just started promoting it. And of course, what do you have around here more than Mexican food? So it was just, that was great. And that's what started our Salsa Trail. So those folks, we sent a Salsa Trail kit over there, which was, the t-shirt and the hat and the salsa and all this. They loved it. They loved it. And it was just all rural areas. So there is a way, to bring tourism in. There is a way to jumpstart your economy. Anyway, there will be a lot of I think good things to come from this, and particularly even with the Russians working with Freeport, perhaps building relationships there for new mining going on there. And I want you to know there are jobs here in Graham County. You can work at the mines, you can work at either the federal prison, the state prison. They have openings right now. Hospital's always hiring. We have jobs here. So send your folks over, let them move to Graham County. We'll take them. They can work here. We just had our Salsa Fest. I was going to let Mayor Gibbs talk about it. He was our chairman, but it looks like did he take his sign and leave?
He's everything on. He took his phone and left, so
Okay. Well, our Salsa Fest has grown from a few thousand from year one. We just had our 5th annual. We estimated 12 to 14,000 people here, which really helps your bed tax in your hotels and just bringing people here and just keep coming back and coming back. And we added a car show this year. Events can be wonderful, or you can lose your shirt. But so far, Salsa Fest has gotten bigger and better each year. And we're going to have our festival, our fall festival, this weekend, along with cowboy poetry. So if y'all don't have something to do this weekend, come back. We have lots going on here. Let's see. But the big thing was that Russian thing. I think that just has so much potential. And since they paid for him to come, I think that was just absolutely marvelous. Let's see.
Marie, if you've ever thought that you didn't know anybody that's ever been to Siberia, well, that's where they had to meet.
Well, anyway, we're just still promoting business, and I too am on the Community Foundation Board, and we've recently given out, I don't know, maybe really promote and seek legacy gifts and all that. Because every bit of it goes back into your own community. So if you have a community foundation, that is a way for you to really promote nonprofits and things within your community. If you don't have one, you should start one. Anyway, there will be a big 4-page spread, full 4-page wrap that goes in our newspaper right before Thanksgiving, and telling all about Community Foundation and how much has been, there's been $300,000 or something like that given out over the few years that we've had it, which really impacts your community. So it's just some more things to learn. I'll turn it over to Jackie.
First of all, I would like to thank Marie for what she does for the Chamber, Grand County Chamber here. But I would also really like to thank our other partners here in the Gila Valley, which would be the Board of Supervisors, the Town of Thatcher, and the Town of Gila. We, as the Safford City Council, have we're very interested in having these partners to work with, and we're very happy to do that. And just a little idea of what it's helped us with. We had some real legal issues on the table with the City of Thatcher over water issues here in the last few years. And instead of just going into court and digging our feet in, all of this, the councils decided to sit down together and try and work it out. And that's exactly what we did. And I think that we came to a very good decision for the City of Thatcher and the City of Safford. Saved us a lot of money in the long run of it all, and we're just more than happy to work with all of our partners here, and that's what we want to continue to do. SEAGO, we're very, very active, as you guys know, in working with the grant programs, and we're real excited to say we were just funded, or just approved, awarded a grant of $1.9 million, and this will be the renewal of the water lines in the Solomonville area out east of town. We have a department here in the City of Safford that's very, very active in working on these grants. Our current grants that we've been awarded our current grants total $4.5 million that we've worked on through SEAGO, and we will continue working those. We're very thankful to get those grants. We have a very active downtown association with the business people downtown. They have also worked on grants. We will be starting this coming summer on new lights for downtown on Main Street, also bump outs on some of the intersections. It'll be kind of like downtown Phoenix, where the rounds come out a little bit, and there's a bench and some trees and so forth. The trees that were taken down, and then we're going to put back up on downtown. But to make our downtown more enticing for visitors that come into town, we want them to stay in the City of Safford. We want them, George, to come this way. So that's really interesting too. Is Downtown Association also is helping the individual businesses if they will fund half of the exterior of their buildings. The Downtown Association will fund the other half. And if you're downtown, you'll see some of the awnings and so forth that have been put up. That is part of this grant money with the Downtown Association. We got a balanced budget this year. We went through it just like everyone else. We're very happy with where we're at. We could have been better. We were hoping for better, but it could have been much worse. We did not have any layoffs, so we're very, very happy with that. When you talk about, we aren't a large city. We're a small city, but we own all of our utilities. We own the landfill. We own the airport. We own the golf course. So at times it becomes very cumbersome for any of you others and not very many cities in the state own all of their utilities, and we do. So that has become also a learning curve for some of those of us that are newer on the council to work through all this. Our road maintenance, you were talking about road maintenance, and we're very fortunate. Ours is on schedule. And yes, we're having to watch every single penny on it to make sure that we do get that done. But as you know, in the long run, if you don't keep your road maintenance up, it really costs you more in the long run. So that's a real priority of ours also. The redistricting, no, we're not happy. We're not happy with the redistricting at all. It looks to us like we're only going to have maybe 15% or less of voters say. So Drew, can't you help us out on this?
Working on it.
No, we're not really happy with the redistricting at this point. We have seen, as Marie was talking about too, we have seen a slight increase in our sales revenue. So that, you know, when you start looking at those figures and you see that, that does tell you something, that things are moving a little bit, even though our state shared revenue is down. We're glad to see that a little bit of our local sales is moving. That tells us people are moving around, shopping a little bit, buying, and of course, that's what we want. Marie covered the Salsa Fest, the Oktoberfest, the Fall Fest this coming weekend. We always have those downtown in the city of Safford, and we have lots of people down there, and we'd like to have that down there. We're very happy. This weekend, I understand, we've got class reunions going on all over. We've got the class of 1971, I think, is here, the class of 2001, and the class of 1981, from what I understand, is here. There's a home football game tonight. It's Globe. If any of you are still in town, please attend the game. And I believe that's all I have for right now.
FFA barbecue going on.
Yes, the FFA barbecue, and there's a parade downtown at 4 o'clock, I understand. So partake in it if you're here.
You bet. Art, I think you'd be next. The rest of the stand.
Okay.
Thank you so
Almost
much.
last time. I should show up last time.
We tried to wait
I
for
almost
you.
got here for lunch. Well, you know, a lot of things have been going on in Nogales, and right now we have several construction jobs that are going on in Nogales. We have the Morty Avenue project that should be done by the end of November. That's a $2 million project, infrastructure and paving, sidewalks, water and sewer. We also partnered with the state, and they're about to finish Mariposa Road, one of our main roads. That takes you from Grand Avenue all the way to Mariposa Point of Entry, which is, they're resurfacing that road and did some sidewalks and handicap ramps on it. Real good job on that one. We have an infrastructural project right now going on Via Coronado, sewer lines. That's going to be $1.5 million worth of paving also after that. We have a $1 million project on Walnut Street. It's going to be sewer, service lines, and paving. And then we're going to be doing Crawford Street. So they're all one after the other, and it's all, the majority of it is bond money that we got together. So those projects are, I mean, much needed. Some of them are minor collector, major collector roads that take us, you know, to the main circulation of our city and for especially the downtown area. We, as you know, the month of October, November, and December are our best months when it comes for tourism. Not tourism that goes south to Mexico, but the Mexican tourism that comes to us and Tucson and the Phoenix area for shopping. So we do very well. We do very well, and we can have anywhere from 80 to 100,000 people a day in our city from Mexico that come in. So we depend very much on our Christmas, and so does Tucson, actually. But who wants to hear about Tucson? Huh? There's no gals. And we do very well. We do very well in our bed tax during that same time. We have a lot of events. We have almost everybody knows about our night parade, the Christmas parade that we have at night. Very popular. Everybody shows up, people from the surrounding areas, the county, and even outside the county, come out to Nogales for that event. Right now, we're doing very good in our city. We just had one of our councilmen that went through a stroke, and he's still at the hospital in Tucson. Hopefully he gets better. We had the second operation a couple of days ago, but we're hoping for the best. And our budget is very good. We're not in the red. We have a little bit of tweaking that we need to do in the sewer department, but I'm not in the position right now to go and raise, all right? So we're not going to be raising rates on that right now. But like I said, our budget is real good. We do have 3 openings right now in the city that are principal, are very good openings, so if you guys know anybody that's interested in being the public works director, the planning and zoning director, or the utilities director, well, apply for it. If you have jobs in Grant County, I might come work here then. I was a public works director at one time back in 2000, so I can't drop and go back to that position. But we've been doing very well, and Akush and I attended, we went to Washington, D.C., and it went very well. I did a presentation over there with some of the White House staff on the back to the perception problem. Remember, we've been talking about that. I talked to them about that. We talked about transportation and some security. Yesterday, I got a call from Washington, D.C., invited back to Washington on November the 16th. Also to both at the White House and at the Capitol, one to talk about, they want me to be part of the committee for the Jobs Act, and the other one for law enforcement for border, to get money for law enforcement for the border region cities. So debating on it right now. It's kind of quick for me, but you know, on my way driving over here with my wife, she's pushing me to go, so I'll probably end up going to Washington. Yeah, but you know, we have a lot of good things going in Nogales right now, and I just hope that the people up at the state, you know, change their attitude. I still haven't been able to meet the governor, so if any of you guys know a better way for me to meet the governor, show me that route. I filled out an application. All right, the last time I heard, Santa Cruz County was still in the state of Arizona. But isn't it, was? Is it still in the state of Arizona? You know, we one of the things that I've been stressing, and I know you guys feel the same way as I do, is sometimes we need to on sensitive issues that we have along the border, and I've commented this to you, is we need to remove our political hats and sit down as people to discuss these issues so that we can solve them and maybe get a better solution and better atmosphere in the room. It doesn't seem like we're getting that from certain areas. I think I'm getting a better opportunity from DC than from our own state capital. I'm very disappointed, honestly. But I'm going to continue, and if it takes for me to go to Washington, the state to go to the capital of our state to solve issues along the border, I will continue doing that. So I think that's all I have to say, because if I do, then we're going to go into lunch. Thank you very much.
I think with the redistricting committee, Santa Cruz is in with Coconino County now. David?
I'd like to invite Art to come to Green County. He has more work than these guys do. He's actually from Green County. Anyway, and besides, he's the governor.
There you go.
So, I'd like to do that. Other than that, our town is not as bad as Miguel's or George. I mean, I've heard all this stuff. So whatever you heard those guys complaining about, we got it. Our budget is great. We have quite a bit of money in the bank. And come to Greeley County. We need more people. That's the only thing. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Eric?
We've, it's been very interesting. EAC just signed their life away to the Devils. They're getting a bachelor's degree, so they'll have a 4-year college, which that opens up a whole bigger avenue for this area, schools, so that'll really help. Nursing program, having a bachelor's degree, business degrees, so this will really, and the mining science degree, so it's really helping the area that much. loan ourselves money and borrow it from ourselves. No problem.
Hey, give away and see some money over there. Poor guy. How about some fun?
Not ourselves.
We're doing very fine. We've had 2 or 3 new businesses open up last time we talked. On Ray Lane, we are getting finally fighting after all these years getting our traffic signal. So that should be coming up pretty soon. We were going to have a roundabout, but it's just cheaper with the where our old yard used to be. I think we just went through a planning and zoning meeting. We'll probably have a bulk transfer place there for trucking, which we've been trying for trucking for 4 years now. With the chamber trying to find, Sheldon was here, and we were trying to find a place, so this is finally coming about. Things are looking good. We have substation. Oh, the college is still in financial trouble in some different ways. They own everything, but if anybody around could help, the expenditure limitations need to be helped out there. What's happened now is EAC is in with the HELA, so in Lowell, we've got like 2,000 students there that we take care of here, that EAC takes care of. Well, with this new redistricting that's coming up, we will lose those 2,000 kids in that financial part. So that's in the tune of about $3 million. We still have a contract with them for about 10 years for teaching that. So if the expenditure limitations were limited, which does not raise any taxes. The only taxes around here is raises in Piedmont. There's a lot. We blame everything on you guys in your house. My house in Piedmont costs more than my house in Safford and Thatcher. But anyway, yeah, the expenditure limitations would help Laura keep up. We are now working, we found somebody that really will help. It might help all the towns in Arizona, but I don't know how your medical is in all your cities. And the health programs are pretty expensive. Well, I think I found one, and we had found one we're working out. We're going into a different way of financing your medical deals, using the city's equipment, using the banking, and using this as a financial base. So that you've got 3 and 4 tiers deep with your money issues. And what it amounts to is, I believe right now we've got it down to, in Thatcher, we have Middletown, but a family health insurance, complete coverage, will be under $400. It's not a rip-off like the Blue Cross and all these other things. This is signed in with Aetna, and they can sign in with any health provider you have. So this is going to be a big issue that's coming up. We'll have a presentation here. It's taken years to get this group here together. We tried, years ago, I tried to get health insurance with the city of Thatcher to get, county has good insurance. Safford has good insurance. This one's even better. So they've taken from both, and we've made it. They just got through insuring the whole Virgin Islands healthcare insurance program. They just got through Indonesia signing them up. They're going from not just places, they're going countries to do it. So we'll make a big application.
Let's go to Virgin Islands, check it out. Anything else, sir?
I think that should do it.
Okay.
Drew, I wonder if the municipalities could share real quickly what they did with their bill from ADWR. I know what Risky did